I mix it, I ain't mad, she had it, but I'd rather say she passionate. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. I hit you when you were just baiting, so what? You hit me when I was so faded, so what? Said fuck everything cause I'm jaded, so what? I did all this shit and ain't taking no love. That little part of my life fell in love with them drugs. Not taking shit back, I love who I'm becoming. Fuck that shit, shorty, we could be nothing. Back when I'm in Saudi, copping some dumb shit. Only 1 10 out of 10's in the spot. Only 1 10 out of 10's where you thought. Quarter million, that's on this Richard pocket watch. So flexing on niggas cause I know they watch. I wouldn't lie to you, yeah. No, I've been tired of you, yeah. You've been too all in my hair. You've been too all in my ear. You crashing out over a tree. I don't even know how to stare. But I don't know what to believe. Yeah, I don't even know how to care. Know I wanted you, but that was past tense. Done had a lot of hoes just on my accent. Carry my chopper, shorty, she is savage. Got a son for you, cause you ain't average. I be on gas fuel, take me out of delusional. Think I got it, cause I imagine it. Fashion shit, yeah, I mix it, I ain't mad, she had it. But I'd rather say she passionate. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. Check my phone out, a hoe say she miss me. Smoking this gas got me feeling rich. When it comes to a freak, I ain't even picky. Just off this fit, turn her to a pig. I still my twin Mordecai and Rick. You worry about tech, I give a nigga 50. What a broke nigga always got. That's something to say, but none of them niggas with me. Been blocking windows, I feel like I'm Wendy. No, she don't want Louis, she want a new Fendi. Can't open the text in the public no more. Ain't no way to predict like what she gon' send me. I'm not even doing the talking no more. I don't even think that they really gon' get me. I'm not getting rich, it do not concern me. Cause every day I feel like that Billy ready. I wouldn't lie to you, yeah. No, I've been tired of you, yeah. You've been too all in my hair. You've been too all in my ear. You crashing out over a tree. I don't even know how to stare. But I don't know what to believe. Yeah, I don't even know how to care. Know I wanted you, but that was past tense. Done had a lot of hoes just on my accent. Carry my chopper, shorty, she is savage. Got a son for you, cause you ain't average. I be on gas fuel, take me out of delusional. Think I got it, cause I imagine it. Fashion shit, yeah, I mix it, I ain't mad, she had it. But I'd rather say she passionate.
Today, we're going to talk about the loaded college basketball slate, crafting the TNT two-piece. And if we don't cash the squad rides, my brain's going to explode. This is Behind the Lines. I mean, Chucky Hepburn had Boopy Miller in jail. It was tough to watch. Maybe the worst game I've ever seen. Boopy Miller missing layups left and right. Couldn't cover a parked car. You got Chucky Hepburn jacking up threes. Didn't have a chance because for some reason, I don't know why, but in hockey, a 2-goal lead is actually like losing. It might be worse than losing. You might as well be losing because a 2-goal lead is never safe.
This feels like a game where Ohio State can make this weirdly close, but it's a game where you look at it and you're like, okay, Purdue should dominate at home, and you turn it on because it's a tied game with 3 minutes left and Ohio State's fighting. I think this is going to be a close game when really on paper it shouldn't be at all.
And then I see this quote from the coach, his starting center, Tomislav. He literally said, deathly ill. The kid's sitting on your fucking bench. What are you talking about? He's deathly ill. He looks fine to me. And if he is that sick, why is he sitting next to the rest of your team? Are the neurons in your brain not functioning? What's going on up there in Illinois? What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Tuesday, episodes 631 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you're not tracking your bets on Bookit, today could be a great day to start. Go check out Bookit on the App Store or Google Play and start tracking your bets over there. The best bet tracking app out there by far on the App Store or Google Play. Bookit Sports. Go check it out. Jovan, squad ride cake. I'll just go ahead and get right to it.
Bad program.
Right to it. I mean, I watched the entire game. They look like shit.
They did.
They look like shit. I don't get it. I don't get it with that Suns team. They got to blow it up. They got to blow it up. And they got to try something new because whatever they're doing right now, simply not working. Playing ISO ball, KD and Devin Booker, just trying to do it all themselves solo and not playing a lick of defense on the other side of the ball as well. Embarrassing play, embarrassing performance. The Suns are an absolute joke. Suns are an absolute joke. Yep, time to move on from the Suns and time to gas up our guy Canadian Goots in the chat for resubbing. Need a Lembong and TCU Frogs comeback Sure. Hey, I'd be down to fire it up later tonight. Just let me know.
I'm still on IR till I get back.
Okay. All right. You didn't bring the PS5 with you?
No, because I
Shit.
didn't know I was supposed to be here for this long, so it wasn't in the cards, or else I would have.
That would be a crazy move.
Yeah.
To bring the PS5 on the plane. Although a lot of these NBA players do it. Let's take a look at the Sharp reports. See how we did. Pretty terrible. Any comments on Pella?
I mean, send him to somewhere, dude. Send him to Shanghai. I can't really complain too much because that's the whole kind of premise of taking a double bagel. But he had so many wide open looks.
I was happy to see you were explaining the double bagel system on the feed as well yesterday. Perfect
yeah, timing. I gotta make sure it's clear.
Perfect timing for that. As Paolo makes it a triple bagel. What's the system on triple bagels?
It's 2+. So if he's back on the board, we will be there again. I don't know when they play. I think they play tomorrow, but we will be there.
Trice Picks is saying in chat the volume was there. Yeah, I think 0 for 6.
0 for 6. He shot
Nice.
From the field. I think it was 8 for 25 or something close. Overall, bad performance.
Man. Brutal. We got a couple other subbies coming in here during the end of TMA. Zeldin back to Malik. W's gents. If you guys missed TMA earlier today with Joshy and Mike, you can always go back and rewatch on the YouTube as well. W gents. We appreciate you guys. I saw a tweet earlier today. I don't know if Josh is still watching. Hopefully not for his sake. But Saquon Barkley was talking to the Bears and almost signed with the Bears. I saw a tweet about that yesterday or late last night. I wanted to go ahead and share that with the group. That's just moose shit for Bears fans, even hearing that out loud. Brutal. Oh, add that to the fire. What?
Really thought he was going to the Bears, man.
No, but that's just additional moose shit on top of the already moose shit they got going on up there in Chicago. With that too.
Yeah, fair.
Just add that on top. Krabby Square of the day, Cat more than fantasy score, also POD. I'll go ahead and mark that one down. Cat fantasy score. Seems a little square on the surface, but I'm sure after we dive into it, probably won't be. I'm sure it'll be a winner, like all the others. He wouldn't have been anywhere near the success with our shit O-line. Yeah, obviously. Eagles O-line elite. They're going to share that again on Sunday. Jovan, before we hop in and do a little steamed crabs, I do want to gas up this Bookit questionnaire we got right now. So if you guys are in chat right now, if you want to get involved, we got a couple questions for you guys to answer and fill out. If you don't mind, we got a Google sheet, a Google form, if you will, in the chat on Twitch. A quick survey letting us know what you guys want more of, what content you want to see. And we wanted to put this out to our OGs watching the streams live. We're not posting on X. We're not posting on Instagram. We're just sending this out to the guys in chat, the GOATs, the OGs. We want your guys' opinions. Okay, so if you don't mind, fill out that survey at some point today. We drop the link in the Twitch chat. Let us know what you guys want to see more of. Okay, get involved. Appreciate you guys. Goodsy, I hope that suffices. We can get to the steamed crabs here. You guys might want to hear this one. Good old 9-finger Nas. Can't make it up. I was laughing out loud in the group chat with me and Jovan and Goots last night, and I get a text that just says 9-finger Nas. And I check the stat sheet, and you can't script it. After I talked about this on BTL yesterday, instead of taking 9-finger Nas's points, let's not ask for the world from this guy, Jovan, right? He's got a banged up hand. He's barely playing. Just happy to hear he's going out there and grinding for the squads, right? They need him. I think it was his second game in a row starting as well. So big week for Nas, right? Big night for Nas. Clearly, he showed up, Jovan, and it didn't matter that he had his fucking hand taped up. If anything, he should keep doing it because whatever he was doing in that game last night, he could not miss. He was raining threes, contested, wide open, on the move, give him some time, quick release, whatever you needed. Nas Reed had you covered last night. Besides the rebounds, of course. Talk about doing too much. right? Talk about getting a little too cute. That's certainly what I did last night with Naz Reid. I mean, it was right in front of me, Jovan, the answer. Right in front of me on the piece of paper. Naz Reid points. Don't ever think it. The guy's got one hand, and he's got the freaking reddest chart of all time. Just take the points and move on. But I had to get a little cute, take his rebounds, and find the one thing that he didn't cash last night. You can't make it up, dude. You can't. Turned into fucking Steph Curry with one hand last night.
Gotta be better. What are we taking Nas Curry's out of here for? Unbelievable.
I don't know, man. At least take a PR, right? At least combine those puppies.
That's what I was saying.
Man, I've never seen someone hit at a clip like that. The guy he was the entire offense. They centered the offense around Naz Reid.
Yeah, which is probably why they lost. But he was goated.
30 piece, sure. Anybody remember what his points was at yesterday? Like 14? Unbelievable. The worst part about it is, Jovan, I think his rebounds was at 6. He had like 2 the entire game. I guess he had some sneak rebounds late. Got that nice and close. I'd rather him have 1. Shit, 0. Oh.
Yeah.
Naz Reid, man. 9-finger Naz. Can't make it up, dude. Can't make it up. He was actually Ray Allen last night.
Literally Ray.
What do we do? All right.
Apparently all you need is 9 to make threes. Some of these guys should take notes.
I mean, legitimately do it again the next game. Keep it taped. Keep the hand taped up. Well, you can't change it. I'm being dead ass right now. I'm being serious. Like, if I see him out there on the court in his next game, he doesn't have his hand taped up, I'll be legitimately shocked.
No, it's for sure taped.
How do you not run it back? That shit might be taped the rest of the season. Man. Did Tyus Jones assist it? I don't think so. Unbelievable. All right. Well, we can move on. Guy could not miss last night. Insane. All right. Let's hop in, talk about some winners for today. Does that work? Enough bitching about the past? Enough living in the past? Let's find some winners for tonight, Jovan. You knew I was going to be on this. Legally obligated to back Iowa. It looks like they're down to 6.5 most places as well right now. Been bouncing around between 7, 6.5. Jovan, correct me if I'm wrong, but Iowa's best player out for the season.
Yep.
Pretty new news. Owen Freeman, their big man, who I was telling Goots earlier, not like it matters. He's soft as baby shit on the interior, so it's not like he's grabbing any rebounds, but certainly hurts them offensively. Can't deny that. You're telling me this Iowa team is looking sharp, catching some steam as well without their best player in this game against big and bad Purdue? Well, I got a feeling you might see Iowa turn it around here in this spot. Losers are 4 of their last 5, playing a Purdue team that, sure, they're winning. I mean, they did drop a game to Ohio State. Great call on that one, Jovan. I don't forget about it. But they've been winning games overall. And Purdue is at least taking care of business, putting, checks in the win column, and it hasn't been pretty every game. If you've watched Purdue, you've noticed that they don't look as sharp as they have in recent years, right? And I think they're fadeable, especially on the road as well. I'm going to fade them again tonight, Jovan. I'm going to take Iowa, the hungrier dog at home, who needs a win. They've been playing like shit, getting 6.5 points here at home. They haven't covered a game in 3 weeks. They're without their best player. I thought they were going to be getting closer to 10 points, not 6. I'll grab them. Looking at the lines, this one might be a little bit closer than people expect.
Yeah. I agree with the Purdue's fadeable aspect because I've done it 2 of the last 3 games when they've been double-digit favorites. So I'm with you on that. A little scared to go back myself, but I will tip cap to that.
All right. Loving Iowa today, chat. Loving Iowa. I'll put that on record. Jovan, is TCU in the new MLB The Show?
Yeah,
I saw that, but I'll ask you.
No, I saw that. They dropped like a new trailer or something because they got college teams in it now, and they're one of them.
Huh.
Just kind of sick.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the Hokies didn't make the cut.
No, they didn't quite make it there. But, I mean, I don't know. It was just like a little screenshot snippet of the trailer. So it's always possible, but I doubt it.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw they changed up some of the stuff with the story mode.
Yeah.
MLB The Show. I guess you start in high school. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Written by Zach and saying Manny Ramirez is in the game. Okay.
Rumors
swirling. Like some pretty cool additions. All right. Jovan, Iowa, maybe not your favorite play, right? You're not writing home about it, but you can get behind it.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind it.
Okay. All right. Let's swing it around to your straight bets. I want to see what you're cooking up today. We could start out with your first play, and I like this one. Tell me about Marquette.
Got to start out with Marquette. Massive game
Yep.
tonight, especially after not just the last game for these two teams, but the last couple, but more so for Marquette. That performance against UConn was incredibly bad. I had no investment whatsoever in that game, but I was watching it. That was one of the only times I think I've seen Marquette dominate on the turnover front and have absolutely nothing to show for it for the majority of the game, which their whole defense, which both of these teams are pretty similar in that fact. Like they want to create turnovers, they want to create havoc. Their defense creates offense, and they did the first part of that against UConn, but got dominated on the boards with second chance points for part of that game. Just they had no answer for UConn's offense when they didn't create turnovers, so it was a big time problem. So now they're facing a St. John's team that has been absolutely rolling as of late, and the only time they really got a scare in the last couple of weeks was that last game against Providence, where Providence had a ridiculous comeback to even get that game to the point where you needed a buzzer beater just about at the end to win it for St. John's. So now Marquette's coming back in a pretty big spot for both of these teams, but especially for them because they need to bounce back and have this win. But I like the fact that this is Shaka Smart as a dog on the road, where that's always been the narrative that he's this a popular narrative that he's been fantastic in these situations, but he's playing a team and playing a defense that pretty much tries to play his game better than him. So I'm betting on, the OG to get it done. But I think their ball pressure is going to be the difference, and they're going to have a more stout plan than they did going into that UConn game of just how much to pressure the ball and to turn, get those points in transition and get those points off of turnovers because they're significantly lacking in that area against UConn. So I think it's a big performance on the road in the Garden and one of the best games of the day.
Love the play. Back in Marquette coming off a loss. Look, Marquette has not been the ATS wagon they've been in recent years. Honestly, St. John's has been kind of an ATS wagon this season, 13-8-1, at least profitable if you bet them every game. And that's not really surprising to hear when you say it out loud, right? St. John's, obviously an overperformer so far this season. You got to be impressed with what they've done so far. But in simplest terms, this spot, Jovan, biggest game in St. John's, biggest home game they've had in probably 10, 20 years. Legitimately. This game right here.
Huge game.
Biggest game in 10 years with ease. Automatically going to fade them in that spot. I don't care who the teams are. It's a must bet. You have to fade that team. When the lights are bright, when everything's going well, when you're covering, when you're winning, when you're streaking, when you're home, when you're playing a team coming off a loss, when people are finally starting to say, hey, maybe coach is turning this program around, right? Hey, good things are coming out of this program this season. They got a loaded roster, great coach, Hall of Famer, and it's finally starting to work out. They're getting the results, right? Now is the time to fade. Now is the time you sneak in there with a Marquette ticket and you hold on for dear life because you might need those points. I'll be honest with you. This game's going down to the last possession, right? Yeah. Whoever ends up winning, this is going to be must-see TV, Fox Sports, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're not watching this one, you don't want it bad enough. This game's going down to the last possession either way, no matter what team's up.
Yeah. No, that's how the big East games go for the most part. So I don't think this one's any different.
Yep. And if you look at this game with, the, basic, 3-point favorite for the home team, Marquette would be a favorite in this game right now in a neutral site. I guess technically, right, by a half. But
yeah, I bet.
I guess my point is that spreads maybe a hair short with Marquette coming off a loss and how good St. John's has been playing. But maybe the books are hip. They know Marquette is just an absolute wagon, just waiting to be awoken. And it could be the spot on the road. Shaka Smart as a dog. Getting a couple points. I'll be on it.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Is that a soccer play you got down there? Or is that the Clippers?
No, it's the Clippers.
Okay. Yeah.
Soccer play at -8.5 Krabs?
Yeah, that would be what? Women's USA team?
That's not even, dude.
In a friendly? That logo threw me off. We'll talk about that game tonight. Plenty. That's a big one. Are we going to see Luka in that game? Probably not.
No, he's gone for another week, I think, minimum.
Yeah, I know we talked about that. You said injury still coming back, and then I looked on the feed. People are like, he's coming back this weekend potentially, but
yeah, I think they said there's a possibility he plays like Saturday or something, but we'll see. Definitely not today.
Might have to get Seaborn in the bin. In chat, talking about Braun traded to the
Pelicans, bro. Could at least come off with a better team, man.
Unbelievable.
Dude,
Gates, after that Luka trades, yeah, I wouldn't put it past them at this point.
Funniest,
right?
the Pels, hilarious franchise out there. That was like they were so 100% rigged by the league, or it was rigged by the league for them to get the number one pick for Zion, just so their franchise would be saved. And he's played pretty much as many games as Goots in his NBA career.
I'd take Goots on the block at this point. I'd take Goots.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see right now. Did our guy Misi come through last night? Oh, good to see he did. Good to see he did.
Always does.
Yeah, absolute wagon. Good thing I paired it with KD. Oh, KD points and rebounds ended up pushing.
Wow.
Okay. Sure. All right. Shout out Jovan for Jamie Grant as well. I know Paulo didn't come through, and that's what people are going to be talking about, but other square was great. Good work.
Yeah, took some luck,
right.
but that hurt your Tyus Jones square.
Yeah,
because he started the first like 4 possessions of the game were, I mean, legit what I just said. He was going right at Tyus Jones, and then they took him out of the game because he was getting cooked.
Interesting. Yeah, Goots, we might have to just start putting Misi blindly in these lineups. Straight up.
Yeah.
He's talking about that in chat.
Okay.
Might have to be done. All right, let's swing it back around, Gootsy. I want to talk about my other CBB play I got up here. Another great one. I mean, we are blessed with a loaded CBB slate today. Maybe the best one, not on a Saturday all year, to be honest with you. And I got BYU tonight at home against ranked Arizona. How about that system you guys all love and go crazy for? BYU ripping off 4 straight wins. They're looking pretty sharp right now. This BYU team is legit. In a time of NIL, this program is legit. So you've already seen it. They got 5 stars committing. They're paying them millions of dollars. This program is on the come up. Arizona on the come down, in my opinion. Well, they've ripped off 4 straight wins in a row. They've covered all those games. And for once, they've had, a week or 2 week stretch, Jovan, where Arizona's actually done job and taken care of business. And there's really been no stress. Could this be a time we swoop in, fade Arizona on the roads, back the red hot Brigham Young squads, who's up to -3 on the spread right now I'm looking at. They opened up -1 favorites against ranked Arizona. I think it is. And I think we back BYU here at home in this spot. Really tough place to play. Maybe one of the best home court advantages in college basketball, but they've already dropped a game at home this season, which makes me feel a little bit better about backing the Cougars in the spot. Let's fade Arizona. They've been playing a little bit too well of late. Winners of their last 4 in a row, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. Now's the time to hop in and fade Caleb Love.
Yeah, won't tell you no. It's BYU at home.
All right. Let's swing it around to your plays. Let's see what else you're cooking up. How about getting the Irish involved?
Over in a horrendous game, which I thought about taking FSU straight up. I don't know if you know what's going on there, Krabs, but I mean, they've been absolutely terrible. And now Leonard Hamilton has just announced that this is his farewell tour. So it's a crazy swing of emotions there. And I do still think they win the game, but I want to take this over because my one worry about FSU, because like I always talk about, they're always built like this. They're a football team. They love to get to the rim. They're not the greatest shooters, and they're a little shorthanded right now, dealing with, I don't know, a couple different injuries. Who knows who's going to be playing by the time we get to the game, because it's college basketball and there's no injury reports. But I don't think it matters because they're playing Notre Dame, who is one of the worst defenses in the rim out of all the power conferences, partially because they're small, partially because the guys they've had to put in the lineup with all the injuries, including Marcus Burton, at some point in the season have really caught up to them. And they just don't really have much against these bigger physical teams that will use their size against them. But the one worry that I was talking about for FSU winning the game is they have been a horrid 3-point defense in the last couple weeks, especially. And a lot of these teams in, I don't know, the past handful of games, it's tougher to get to the rim on them. But if you just play 5 out, which is what Notre Dame does a majority of the time, or at least 4 out with a lot of motion, you get a Loco open, to get Shrewsbury open, or Marcus Burton ISO for 3, teams have been tearing them apart in that fashion. So I think this strategy quite certainly doesn't change if you're Notre Dame, who already employs that type of offense in this one. So I feel like FSU is going to win. They're going to play a lot in transition. They're going to get anything they want at the rim, but Notre Dame is going to be able to punch back, even though they are on the road, with their 3-point shooting, because that's just how they play. So I know it's definitely a weird situation with Leonard Hamilton. I err on the more side that kind of fires up the team, especially when they're in this pretty tough stretch where I think they've lost 4 in a row. And I don't know if you watched that last game too or caught the end of it. One of the craziest collapses I've seen, and we've seen quite a bit of insane stuff in college basketball this year. Them losing against Boston College. I think they're up double digits with like 50 seconds left or something like that. And then turned it over, did like the Houston, Kansas thing and lost the game. I think their offense comes out fired up, but the defense isn't going to help them very much. So I just went with the over.
Yeah. Florida State kind of has the Irish's number.
They do.
Based on how they're built. Maybe that helps their offense today. Obviously, you got that angle, the motivation angle, coach retiring, hanging them up. Hopefully they're playing for coach. Maybe come out with a little bit more energy today. And hopefully the Irish can put up some points as well. Come out with a bad L.
Shrewsbury.
Bad L to Miami.
I was going to say, I can't see if there's any 3-point squares up on Prize Picks, but
there's points up, 13.5.
Yeah, Shrewsbury is probably going to be shooting big time today, if I had to guess.
Okay. Back in Micah?
Yeah.
All right. I like to play points down there in Florida State tonight. Maybe they come out with some energy for the first time in a while for coach. Let's hope.
Yeah, might need it.
All right, Goodsey, swing it around. Believe I got one more play for the peeps. Late night CBB. God, this slate is so good. UNLV getting 2.5, 3, whatever you can grab tonight against the Broncos, who I just think at this point are frauds. I think Coach Rice is not the coach you want having coins on the road. Coach Rice just cannot get it done in big games. He still has not won a tournament game. The guy, when the lights are turned up a little extra bright, he typically ends up, collapsing or falling a little bit short. UNLV, they've been playing like shit of late. They've dropped 4 straight games in a row, but we know they're a little bit better than they've looked. And they still have a stud point guard, Dean Thomas, who I don't know why he's not up on Prize Picks. He wasn't up last game either, but by far their best player. He is going to lead this team to the promised land against the Broncos, who have struggled to guard point guards all season. We saw it against Colorado State when Clifford, who is a little bit of a bigger guard, but still, it holds. He dominated in that matchup. And then you go back and look at the matchup against, God, who was it? They just played New Mexico, and Donovan Dent just had an absolute field day at the point for this team against the Broncos. I think we see UNLV get back on the win column here, potentially win outright, but I'll take the points just in case this one goes down to the wire. But I think we see Dean Thomas carry them to a win, and I think they are susceptible, the Broncos are, to giving up points to point guards. And one of the best young point guards in the country plays tonight at 11 p.m. at home against a Broncos team that is very fadeable on the road.
Yeah, don't disagree. I was a little surprised. I know they've been, lost like 4 in a row, but I thought this would have been like a weird, maybe shorter dog or favorite spot. No?
I mean, the Broncos are a borderline tournament team, and they've kind of been a letdown so far this season as well, but they had high hopes heading into the season.
Yeah.
UNLV barely
that first game
around
was
500.
a little closer. They probably would have been a little weirder on the line.
Yeah. And Boise did drop 2 games recently, but after that, they, bounced back with 2 big-time wins.
Yeah.
Destroyed Fresno, took care of business, but that's Fresno. You can make an argument that, sure, maybe it's not a line play, and maybe you wouldn't have been surprised to see UNLV to pick them, right? Or maybe even a favorite here in the spots. We know how this conference rolls, but I still think it's UNLV here at home.
No, I'm with you.
Boise is the better team. I'm not super shocked to see them as a favorite, even if they're on the Reds.
Yeah.
Okay. Pax Picks asking for the survey link. I'm happy to drop that here as Jovan goes over his last straight bet. I'll put the survey link in the chat, and if you guys don't know what it is, take some time, fill this puppy out, help us, understand what you guys want to see more of. Okay, I'll drop the link.
Huge. I just could not bet the Clippers today. Couldn't do it. Playing the Lakers, who we all kind of knew what this Lakers team looked like the second we saw the AD trade. I mean, I know you have a little better, I guess, something defensively without Luka in there. Obviously, the offense takes a hit, but I don't know who's defending anything at the rim. It's tough. Jackson Hayes is not a great defender. He's been in there for a little bit now, and he's held his own in some easier matchups. But I mean, I just don't see a world where he's stopping Zubac. I don't see a world where anybody is really stopping anything when it comes to them getting to the rim, whether it's Kawhi, whether it's Norm, whether it's really anybody who dribbles a basketball in that game for the Clippers, which if you want to stop the Clippers and you want to stop everything other than when Norm wants to spot up from three, you got to stop everything at the rims. Like this Lakers team as it's currently constructed can't do that. And until they make some major addition, they won't be able to do that. So to keep themselves in this game, I think they need a LeBron superhero effort. And while I certainly don't want to count that out, they just got that in New York in the Garden when they had that improbable win. Shout out Trent for nuking the Knicks in the Garden. And they won outright as pretty big dogs there. And he gave them their superhuman effort in that. So I'm going to bet that, A, that's not going to happen twice, but B, this Clippers team is built to destroy a team at the rim just like the Lakers are in their current state. So if this were in 2 weeks, or I guess in a week, where the Lakers are probably going to make some addition of a guy at the rim, obviously this game would look a lot different, but I don't know that I have a choice right now. I know it's a little bit of a don't overthink it square play, so I'm not expecting you to be fully on board with it, but I don't have a choice.
Yeah, it does make an incredible amount of sense. We can agree on that, right?
Yeah.
It's not like we're surprised to see them up to -8.5 when the Lakers don't have a center. They'll be rolling out Jackson Hayes in this one to go against Zubac.
He's probably he's starting.
Toast.
Yeah,
he's toast. Who else? Who else they got? Any other big guys?
I don't know what, like, if Jackson Hayes is just getting torched, I wonder if they go small ball. Shamsbaum, Caleb Martin to Dallas.
What, you mean like LeBron at the 5?
I'm sure. No, maybe not LeBron. They might put Rui out there though.
Yeah. I mean, either way.
It's not like they haven't played LeBron at the 5. It's happened before, but
yeah.
I don't know if Jackson Hayes is just getting shredded like they started. I think Rui at the 5 in that next game, so they might do the same thing. But I mean, that's just a horrible setup for this game.
Yeah. Couple good questions in chat about these CBB games as well. Don't worry, guys. We're going to spend plenty of time talking about the slate. Absolutely loaded today. But yes, it is UCLA against Michigan State. Jay Gumby. Okay. Yeah, they got Andrew Bynum available. Is he hanging around anywhere?
Bynum. No, definitely don't. But okay. I mean, what? They have they're going to put Hayes or Rui at the 5. Then you're going to have some combination of Finney Smith and Vanderbilt, which, don't get me wrong, 2 really good defenders, but that's not going to work.
All right. Yeah, that Mavs team is moose shit. I'm done talking about them.
The Mavs, dude.
Moose. That trade just threw my fucking brain in a blender. And now chat's saying UCLA's fake sharp. No, they're not. We'll talk about that game in a little bit. Okay, Sparty hasn't had many hard games. They got 2 back-to-back on the roads.
Dude, they have the most Mickey Mouse schedule I have ever seen in a power conference.
So I wouldn't be shocked if they dropped 2 in a row. Typically don't like backing teams that drop 2 in a row, but we'll talk about that game more in a little bit. Okay? For now, I think we got to talk about some prize pick squares.
Yeah.
Some squares we're loving for tonight. Jovan, if Iowa doesn't have their best player, if they don't have their star big man Freeman, who I don't even think is really that good, but anyways, I digress. If they don't have their big man Freeman, somebody's got to step up. Someone's got to fucking get going down low, at least somewhat on the interior for Iowa, the Hawkeyes in this game, whether that's grabbing boards, second chance points, whether that's just creating offense while their guards are getting absolutely clamped up by these, great Purdue guards. I think it could be Peyton Sandfort tonight, Jovan, and I want to take his points and rebounds combo 21.5. They had his rebounds tucked away at the bottom of the boards. I think he's the guy that steps up in this game for Iowa. And what do we know about Purdue? It's not like they really have, a Zach Edey in the paint this year. They had Jacobson for a couple games. He's been out, pretty much the whole season. He was really their big body. They got Kaufman-Wren, who's, great offensively and a glue guy, but does he play a lick of defense? Not really. I think this could be a good opportunity for Sandfort to step up in this game. And I want to take his points and rebounds combo in a game where I like points, in a game where I like Iowa to keep it close. I think it's Sandfort's season. And he's the guy that steps up for the Hawkeyes in this one.
I can get down with that. Somebody's going to have to do it.
Somebody has to do it, yes. I think it's our guy, Peyton Sandfort.
Yeah.
And then I'm back in Richie Saunders tonight. This one's a little square, right? Richie Saunders, probably BYU's best player. He at least leads the team in points. He's averaging like 15 points per game-ish. And he's up for 17 points tonight. That looks like it got bumped to me. And I'll take his more then. I think he drops a 20-piece tonight at home in a game where there's going to be plenty of points. Arizona, BYU, not a lick of defense played in this game. Total's moving up. It's already high, in my opinion, 152. I'm backing points from the star player on BYU, who's been one of the hotter shooters in CBB, and I don't think he's done yet. I want to squeak one more good game out of him. I think he drops a 20-burger in this one against Arizona's Mooshit defense. I'll back Richie Saunders, the GOAT, for BYU tonight, more than 17 points.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, again, somebody's going to have to do it against that Arizona team. So, I mean, they get torched by any aggressive perimeter shooter. He gets buckets, dude. I'm down.
He is a bucket getter. Yes.
Literally.
Yes. W. Cohen's Cake, he said he just filled out the survey.
Let's go.
Love to see that.
Dude, they traded
get
Quentin
involved.
Grimes for Martin. Dude, they're trying to be, I mean, just no shooting all defense at this point. Which maybe I don't really hate that. I'll be honest. I think it feels like, as dumb as the Luka trade obviously is, feels like they're trying to build anything to match up with the Thunder for the next 2-3 years.
I mean, is this GM just trying to get canned? Is he just trying to get a severance package or something? What is
Well,
he
yeah,
doing?
probably.
What is he doing? We got Mares coming in resubbing. Let's go, Mares. There we go.
I saw a clip of Chandler Parsons talking on some show he does, and he said that, like, with the new ownership, what's his name, Nico Harrison, right?
Yeah,
has full reign of everything because the
he
owners
does,
now
owners
that
know nothing.
bought it from Cuban, just they're not even basketball people. Like, they know nothing about basketball. They're just rich, so they just gave him full reign to do whatever he wants. Cuban had no idea they were doing this.
Yeah,
That
that's the
kind of
part.
surprises me. Like, Cuban's like the smartest guy on earth. You're telling me he had no clue that these people, he didn't like, well, he thinks he's the smartest guy on earth. And you're telling me he didn't, what is it called? Like, not do a background check, but he didn't take a peep at who he's handing the team that he loves, or at least acted like he loves, who he's handing it over to.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why he is not the majority owner anymore. It's because he's focused on other things. But I do not believe that Nico fully did this on his own. I don't. I feel like it was a directive from somewhere above.
Yeah, Mark Cuban fell off, man. What happened? Brutal.
Well, he's worried about the same thing that the other majority owners are. His whole initial plan, the reason why he stepped down at first was because he was working on the whole Dallas casino thing, and then he got told no. So, like, he wanted to spend more time doing it, and then the other ownership group also wanted that as their own project. So now they're kind of going head to head and figuring it out. So it's there's something going on there with that.
Okay. Jovan, I want to see your prize pick squares. Show them. Flash them.
Sure.
I want to see them.
We're going to Miami tonight. I guess technically not because it's in Chicago, but we're going to the Heat.
Okay.
Tyler Hero today. He's kind of like Ant, the worst defense you play, which 100% makes all the world or all the sense in the world with his assist that everybody in the world needs today. But when he plays these really bad defenses, especially with the smaller, wing defenders, you're going to have another one today because they're a little shorthanded now because of the trade. Levine saw a good bit of them, or usually sees a good bit of them. Clearly not happening anymore. He's going to be chucking today, especially because when he plays these defenses where he's had a lot of potential assists since he's been the main ball handler with no Jimmy out. What that means when he plays like these super bad defenses is he's not trying to score nearly as much inside the arc. So, like, he's pretty much either chucking threes, or if he wants anything inside the arc or wants anything at the rim, he's passing it off. So, like, I think a lot of his scoring volume has to come more so from three in this game, which is why I think, there's a potential he gets 10 assists, just like, again, everybody in the world or everybody on Twitter needs today. But I think there's also a chance he gets 5 or 6 threes. And I don't think he's going to need to get very much in the rim unless it's in transition, which really isn't his full share of the game anyway. So taking him to make 4, then fading Jalen Brunson today, which I'm sure you could probably get involved with off a 40-piece last night.
Yeah, I had his more than points last night from when we were crafting up on stream.
Yeah.
And I'd be more than down to fade him tonight.
Yeah, well,
I'm in.
I'm definitely in for that, and I am getting a little scared because the whole world's on cat. So when that usually happens, it can only go so many places. But Jalen Brunson he's playing the Raptors today. The Raptors defense, and it coincided with them being like fully healthy, which they really weren't for them the whole majority of the year. So like it makes sense, but since they've been fully healthy for the last couple weeks, their defense has been fantastic. Not even if you just look at the box score and what they're allowing offenses to do, but if you dive a little deeper, what they're doing and what they're able to do right now is throw 15 different looks at a lot of these top scoring options, whether you're putting Scotty Barnes on the top scoring option, which Brunson will probably see him a little bit. You're switching RJ Barrett onto him, or Emmanuel Quickly's back, but he's still on a minutes restriction. You're even putting Davion Mitchell, who is a fantastic defender, on him. That's all he's there for. So they have so many different options for a lot of these top scoring options. And obviously, like they're a little more prone to giving up stuff in the paint because they have Pirtle. That's the reason a lot of people are going to be on Cat and everything on the inside today. But just like they did when they saw him the first time, and when they saw him the first time, they still weren't fully healthy. They threw 15 different guys at him, and they were able to shut it down for the most part and kind of funnel everything from the outside of the paint. And he struggled in that. And I think there's no accident in that. And ever since that game, again, their defense has been significantly better. So continuing to lean into that. Funny enough that he got a 40 ball the first game after Mikey Overs concludes the New York tour up there. I don't think he's getting one tonight, to say the least.
You cannot make it up. Dude's in New York for a week, leaves, immediate 40 ball.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. RJ Barrett's out tonight. Chat's losing their minds about it. Does that affect anything up here?
Quickly is out is huge. I don't even want Quickly on him. That's actually good because then he's going to see a lot of Davion Mitchell. So, I mean, that's even better. The only
Davion
reason...
Mitchell played defense now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's only
you're talking about Jalen Brunson. You're talking about Jalen Brunson. Excuse me. Go ahead.
The only reason I was like even fully confident in the first place is because Quickly was back but was on a minutes restriction. But now that he's not playing at all, it's even better because Davion Mitchell is going to see a good part of him.
Let Mitchell cook. I'm in. It's the one thing he's good at. It's playing some defense.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why he's there.
Taking a less than for a GOAT. Sorry, Mike. But we're also backing a GOAT, kind of. At least Javon's GOAT. Tyler Hero.
Yeah, shout out Hero, man.
Luka debuts Saturday. I'm hearing in chat from Pega, our sources.
Who do they play Saturday? Pega.
Yeah, who they got on the schedule? Curious.
I have to add him to the card.
Okay. Pacers.
Pacers. Oh my. Oh my god.
All right. Well, guys, we do have a TNT two-piece to craft up at some point today. Cannot let that get swept. Got to run that. Since we're talking NBA right now, maybe we dive right into that. Craft up a little TNT two-piece for tonight. You in? Sure. We got 2 games tonight on TNT, Chad. It's a Tuesday. All right, live a little. Enjoy the games. We got Boston, Cleveland. That should be a pretty darn good game. Spreads at 1. And then we've got, looks like, Clippers and Lakers, which Javon's already dialed into. Love to see. Yeah. Start out with game 1. Pretty good TNT slate today, though. I'm hype. And yes, Vanisk, we do see in chat a bunch of NHL games. I will make sure I milk Jovan, and we'll go to the ice here shortly. Okay, don't worry. We'll go to the ice. Jovan, I want your thoughts on game 1. How do you think it plays out? Let's look at this on the surface. Celtics are getting 1 point on the road. You don't see the Celtics as dogs very often, but they're playing the Cavs, who only have 9 losses at this point, better records. So I guess it's not that weird to see the Celtics as dogs. What are your initial thoughts here?
Yeah, I was very close to adding the Celtics to the Sharp Report card, and I'm still going to take them. Then I'm going to be on them. So I like them in this game. I think they beat them back in around Christmas or maybe a couple weeks earlier than that. I'm pretty sure it was in December. So I would be pretty weirded out to see the Celtics as favorites in this game. But I mean, they've gone down from, I don't know, +2 to +1. So it's not completely out of the question that they end up favoring this game. But I don't know. As far as squares go, I mean, I would say one of the more obvious looking angles. So I think the Celtics are going to win. One of the ways you're probably going to do it is by stretching out the floor against the 2 bigs down there. So, I mean, that comes from one man and one man only, and that's Kristaps.
Damn, I like the over in this game too, I think. Total's moving
Yeah.
up. All right, so maybe a Celtic we could target. And you mentioned KP,
Yeah.
Big Porzingis. Take a look at some of his squares. It's been a while since I've taken Porzingis. I think the last time I might have taken him was for a TNT two-piece.
Possibly, yeah.
He's up for 18.5 points. Pretty high. 7
Right.
rebounds. You think we just isolate and take his points?
I wouldn't hate keeping the rebounds in there.
Against his big-ass Cavs team?
I mean, they ain't going to get the boards themselves. It's not going to just teleport into their hands. Somebody's got to do it.
W. Chaco going to class. Good man.
Huge for Chaco.
Good man. Keep going. Keep going. Go learn something
But
today.
I do have to bring it up because I know this is directly up your alley. It's for the most part, like obviously going to be Porzingis that stretches the floor, but
Nah, I got it. Jovan, go ahead and take the rest of the segment off. I got it. Big Al?
Yeah.
Big Al, sure.
Which he did. I mean, he was a big part of that last game because he went, not that he put up the numbers for it, but I mean, he took 9 threes. He only hit 2 of them, but he was pretty important and stretching the floor as well. I don't know what his minute share is going to look like tonight, but you can think it's probably going to be a little more.
It could be Big Al season. I mean, I'm looking at that 5.5 point square. Guy hasn't sniffed that number in a minute.
Yeah.
This is the type of game where you need a guy like Big Al to step up and make plays, right? You got a lights are bright game on TNT, right? This is the game where Big Al earns his paycheck. Big Al doesn't give a hoot if the lights are bright. He doesn't care who they're playing. Big Al shows up when the team needs him most. That's why these guys win championships. It's not because of Tatum. It's not because of Brown. It's because of the glue guys like Al Horford, who nobody talks about enough. It could be Big Al season.
Could be Big Al. He could be exactly what we needed.
Okay. When the Celtics beat the Cavs this season, he already had 20. Yep.
Yeah, he did go.
He
He went over this both games they played this year, but he ain't been doing it lately.
Nerfy Chad, yes, I did see that Logan Thompson goals allowed square. I was trying to ignore it today and be good.
Ooh, right back to it.
Yeah, well, I think we missed our opportunity.
You just got shelled by the Jets. I forgot.
I know. He's giving me shit because last week I took it and he absolutely tweaked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nerfy Chad, probably not looking to fade our GOAT, Logan Thompson, anymore. I think I learned my lesson there. We got Chaco coming in with a sub bang. Can we lock in for a green squad ride today? Need it. Chaco, we're going to spend at least 10 minutes on the squad ride today. All right. In 30 minutes, when 1:50 Eastern comes around, we're dropping everything. I don't care what the fuck we're doing. And we're spending 10 minutes on the squad ride and we're cashing it. And we're only putting 2 or 3 plays in there. Plain and simple. Most important part of our day today, cashing a squad ride.
Need it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not taking that lightly today. We're not fucking around. Okay, we're getting back in the win column. Jovan, Big Al, W meme, W guy, W leader, W locker room dudes. It would be funny to take them. Let's keep that back pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to look at the rest of the Celtic squares.
Right.
They got some other glue guys as well. Let me throw some dudes at you. Derek White, probably a no-go today. He also does not respect coins. That we know.
He respects so many coins, Krabs.
Not mine. Not mine. Nope. I'm probably taking them on opposite day, the opposite days you guys are. We got E Breezy coming in with the resub and K Krabs. Look at 2 gents trying to make a difference today, Jovan. E Breezy and K Krab.
Any comments? I mean, just goat it. We love to see that from those 2.
Sure. Good. W.E. Breeze, W.K. Crad. Hype train is moving and grooving, 93%. Let's see who gets us to level 2. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to take Derek White, respectfully. I'm all Derek Whited out.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Jaylen Brown, pretty popular point square, not making me want to take him, really. His rebounds is pretty low as well. Tatum, got to bring him up. He was kind of slumping a little bit, but back-to-back really good games. You see that Tatum rebound square, though?
I
It's
did
up there on the
not.
boards.
Let me take a peek.
He's got an 8.5 rebound square up there that's red as ma.
Jeez.
Extremely red.
As ma.
Tatum PRA was up for taco votes.
Yeah, I guess while we're talking about tacos, the most popular Twitter POD today by far is Donovan Mitchell points, which just so happens to be the taco.
Okay. Good to know. Love to see that. Tatum more than 8.5 rebounds is interesting. Now, do I want to take that after hearing that he was an option for the taco for his PRA? Obviously not sprinting to prize picks afterwards after hearing that, but I wouldn't say it's ruled it out, Jovan. And you're talking about somebody's got to get these rebounds for the C's. Maybe it's Tatum.
Maybe Tatum.
Any thoughts on Drew Holiday?
Not much.
Okay. Yeah, he's up for 9.5 points. Porzingis, 18.5 points, is looking at me funny. Peyton Pritchard's. Sam Hauser is up. He's green as ma. Holy smokes. Stay away from him. I think we're between Porzingis points, Tatum rebounds, and Big Al points or PR.
I think we go Kristaps or Al.
Okay. I mean, I'm down to go Kristaps. You like that play? I don't want to just take Al for the memes.
Well, maybe we keep those in the chamber and then see what it's looking like for the second game, so we can have a perfect balance.
All right, let me put those in the chamber. Let's go take a look at game 2.
This game might be a little trickier.
Okay. Lakers, Clippers. Clippers laying 8.5. Jovan had that on his Sharp Report chat as a reminder. So definitely leaning the Clippers' way here. And the total is moving up a little bit. Could be because the Lakers don't have a big man, really. Any initial thoughts or players you want to talk through?
I mean, I kind of feel like it has to be the same kind of strategy for the Lakers as it is the Celtics, because I mean, you're going to have Jackson Hayes in there, sure, but I would assume you're going to play a decent bit of small ball and try and force Zubac off the floor or to be ineffective. So, I mean, Rui was starting at the 5 there. I know he's a little green, so that's probably not your favorite, but just trying to look at Lakers just in case this game got a little out of hand. What makes it tricky is, like, I would love to just square up and take Zubac or square up and take like Harden assist because he's going to be feeding Zubac. But again, it gets a little trickier if he gets played off the floor or if this game is 30-point blowout at half.
Yeah, I hear you. It definitely sketches me out a little bit, although Zubac's rebounds definitely a little high. Helps when you don't have the center you're going against.
Yeah, you got nobody to guard him.
Yep. All right, I just looked through the Clippers squares. Nothing really speaking to me. Let me pull up the Lakers. God, Reeves, man. Props to him. He's got a 19.5 point square. He's been hooping. Hasn't really eclipsed that number much, but last game he did. That kid can ball. Jackson Hayes squares are up. I mean, who the hell believes he can do anything today? He's up for 6 rebounds. He might just get absolutely bodied. LeBron, 7 rebounds, probably a little too square for me. Rui, 4.5 rebounds, certainly interests me. Rui can get some boards down low. And I definitely preferred his time when he was moving around instead of just fucking sitting on the 3-point arc and jacking threes. Guy sucks at shooting threes. Get involved down low, Rui. Use your size, right? And he does have a 1.5 3-point square up there too, green in his last 2. So not think he's going to bang 2 threes, but could really grab 5 rebounds.
That might not be out of the conversation.
Why do I want to take Jackson Hayes, bro?
Good old Jackson, huh?
I think I'm biased because I wanted the Wizards to draft him like 5 years ago.
You wanted the Wizards to draft Jackson Hayes?
I did. We needed a big man. I wanted us to take him. I did. Rui rebounds. That one's speaking to me a little bit. I'd certainly like to stay away from LeBron if we can.
Yeah, I feel like we don't need all that much convincing.
You got any thoughts on Rui Goods?
Yeah, I mean, that could also just mean he's spacing the floor a little bit, at least on offense. And could also mean he's boxing out Zubac for Braun to clean up the boards.
Going back to the Clippers.
Could always just be Zubac. Maybe you just tip cap if the game gets that out of hand.
I kind of liked Harden assists, though. More than 9.5 assists.
I mean, yeah, it's just W correlation. If he gets 10 assists, it's probably going to be because Zubac has 25 and 20.
You want to take Zubac PR?
Maybe don't leave off the A, just in case they double him.
Okay.
At some point.
I'm down to go Zubac 28.5 PRA. Why don't we go Porzingis and Zubac?
Figured you were going to push Al because we were taking Zubac.
I like that Porzingis play. I don't want to force a big Al. Okay,
I don't know. It might be big Al Krabs. Chow's really liking Big Al. Could be Big Al.
Okay, let's go Big Al then. 9.5 points and rebounds from Big Al. And Jackson Hayes is like one of the chick that ain't too fat. Okay, dude.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Wait,
Jackson
what are we taking?
Hayes.
What are we taking for Al?
We're taking his 9.5 points and rebounds.
Oh, I thought we were just taking his points.
You want to just take his 5.5 points?
Yeah, let's just take him to bang 2 threes.
Okay. Al Horford more than 5.5 points. Zubac's PRA 28.5. I will drop the link to that right now in the Twitch chat if you guys want to get involved. Little TNT two-piece action. Al Horford more than 5.5 points. And Zubac more than 28.5 PRA. All right. Boom. There it is in the chat. Okay. Wanted to talk about this really quick as well because it's just absolutely bogus. And wanted to talk through it here. You guys see that Kevin Durant is the odds-on favorite to head to DC. Or I guess that's not the right way to put it. You guys see the Wizards have the shortest odds to land Kevin Durant in this recent post from Bovadis. I mean, Bovadis, hang him up. There is zero chance that Kevin Durant is coming back to the homeland, as much as I would love to see it. Okay, I don't really see Kevin Durant as the kind of guy who wants to go to a Mooshit program and build up from the ground and be a leader in the locker room, respectfully. Is it pretty clear that at this point we know that Kevin Durant, probably not the dude you want to start out a franchise with and maybe grow and nurture some young dudes around you? I feel like he might not be the guy who's spending some extra time with these young dudes. I feel like he just doesn't give a shit, I guess is my opinion. Okay, and although he's from the area, I don't even think Kevin Durant would want to come to DC. And looking at the team, I mean, they're about to draft Cooper Flagg, a big man. They already have Sarr as well. It doesn't even make sense on paper. We need a fucking guard who can play basketball and put the ball in the hoop.
Krabs, there's no way you just handed them Cooper Flagg already.
None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. We all know Kevin Durant is not going to the Wizards. We've heard this for years. He's from the area. We've heard every free agency comes up. Maybe the Wizards is no, he's not going to the Wizards. He's going to whatever team he has to work the least on. Okay, look at his last couple teams he's joined. He's trying to join super teams. He's trying to work the least amount he possibly can. He's not going to DC to build up this team. Okay, whoever made these odds, go back to the drawing board, hit the reset button, because there's no way in fuck that he's going to DC. I'll leave it at that. No chance.
Dude, what if he goes to the Spurs?
Hopefully I jinx it.
Imagine he goes to the Spurs.
All right, let's take a peep at some of these CBB games. The slate is just simply too good to not look at some of these other matchups. Kentucky and Ole Miss, Jovan. Let's talk about it. I tweeted this the other day. Happy to see the world finally getting a glimpse at how good Sean Padula really is. Coming off a great game. It's hard to discredit him at this point. The guy can ball. He's good at basketball. He's not elite. He's not, top guard in the country. Don't get me wrong. He's not, tooting top 5 running back. But he's pretty fucking good. Sean Padula. I think he carries them to another win tonight. I'm not saying he goes more than his points after he dropped a 30-piece, right? But I think they beat Kentucky tonight, and they're up to 4.5, 5 some places. It's not like they've been playing great, so they've lost 4 of their last 5 games. Tough-ass schedule, though, man. Tough-ass schedule. Same can be said for Kentucky, who comes in limping. Losers of 3 of their last 4. So not an ideal spot to fade Kentucky, Jovan, but I still think Ole Miss gets it done. And I lean that way.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I want zero to do with this game, but my head's in the same spot with you. I like Ole Miss. I wouldn't be shocked to see them win and not cover the number on some random last-minute close game type stuff, but I lean their way for sure.
Do you lean Florida laying 11.5 points? Or do you lean Vanderbilt?
I lean Vandy 100%.
Good answer.
I think it's a weird game. I mean, they both just got absolutely destroyed in very different fashions, which shout out Oklahoma for that second half. That was incredible to watch against Vandy this weekend. But I think it's another one of the big bounce back spots as a big favorite that have not been hitting. So, I mean, I lean Vandy's way automatically, but if there's anybody that can analytically, stylistically match up a little bit with Florida and run with them too, it's Vandy. So I would not be surprised if that game goes down to the wire.
Chat's talking about Kent State. Guys, they're playing a team tonight, Eastern Michigan, who just got looped into a gambling investigation. So maybe we keep that game off to the side.
Did they actually?
For tonight? Yeah, you're not hip to that?
No, I didn't know they were involved in that. But it's funny because they were the worst team in a while before they magically hit some switch, and now they're good again.
Yeah, interesting. Kind of reminds me of that Temple team a year or 2 ago when they would turn it on and off. 3 teams involved in this weird scandal with some ball sack states. I believe it was Mississippi Valley State, it was Eastern Michigan, and it was North Carolina A&T.
I did not see that list. That is
North Carolina A&T has already suspended some players on their team the past week.
That is hilarious. Miss Valley State, dude.
Stay away from a couple of those ball sack states. Yeah, Mississippi Valley State. No wonder why they were 0-for. They were losing on purpose.
Dude, shout out to them. They're making me coin.
Yeah, they were probably making coins themselves.
Dude, they were bad.
I know we're joking about it, but it's so bad for the sport. It's like the one thing that could fuck this whole thing up.
Yeah.
Like, guys, if you're playing the sport, don't bet on the sport. How hard can it be? Don't get wrapped up in it. Don't know why I'm preaching. Not like the players are in the chat, but it's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen. You're going to get caught. You are going to get caught. It is the dumbest thing ever. This is not 1990 where people's brains don't work and they don't have phones yet. Okay, people are pretty smart these days. They're going to figure out when you're rigging games. They have a lot in the last couple of years. Crazy.
Yeah.
I would not. You really can't cap Eastern Michigan. You can't cap NCA&T. You can't cap these teams that are, rigging games. You don't know how good they really are or bad. Let's keep moving here because there are some really good games and we can't get caught up. I think Murray State might be fake sharp. This gives me fake sharp vibes, plus 4.5 at home. Drake catching steam. They're on fire again, Jovan. They're doing it again. And I want to reiterate here, there's a handful of teams every year in every sport you just can't fade, and I think Drake is one of them. I think Drake is one of them, man. I mean, they just keep fucking doing it, dude. And Murray State, again, they get line respect at home for no reason. That roster is bad. That team is bad this year. I'm not taking them. Can't do it. I think it's fake sharp.
Too many PODs for me. I'll let that one splooge and tip cap.
Sure. OK State, Houston. Any thoughts on Houston? Bouncing back after a loss potentially here?
Yeah, again, I lean their way, of course. I just look at that game and I can't see a world where Oklahoma State looks the slightest bit comfortable on offense for a single possession. But again, trying to leave the massive spread, obvious bounce back narratives to the side. So I'm letting that one sit.
Yep. I think Oklahoma State might just be absolute rat piss, and I think Houston's probably the play.
Oh, man, they're terrible.
Won't be on it.
Really bad.
Won't be on it. Lean that way, though. I lean Wyoming. Getting 8.5 against Utah State. That team's coming off a loss, though, too, so maybe not the best spot to fade Utah State, but I still would lean Wyoming, a team that, although they're not winning all their games recently, they're looking much better. They're looking a little bit better. I take them at home. Weird place to play. Weird things happen there. We know that with Wyoming. Any thoughts on Oklahoma, Auburn? I don't really have a play in this game, but I mean, number 1 ranked Auburn. We should probably talk about it here. Oklahoma coming in off of a pretty big win and 3 wins in their last 4. Big old number in this game, though.
Yeah.
Big old number.
Pretty big number. Rightfully so. Because, I mean, Oklahoma, I don't know who the hell is going to guard Janai Broom one-on-one, but the thing that I kind of think they're going to do in this game, which is why, I mean, both teams are coming off scoring 90+. The total's moving up, obviously. I still think it might be an under game. I feel like they're going to play zone in this game a little bit. Make them give Janai Broom the ball a little further out. They're probably going to put him in the middle like they always do when they play zone. So I think they're a lot more comfortable slowing the game down and doing that rather than just letting him go one-on-one against any defender. He's going to absolutely dominate. So, I mean, foul trouble could hurt if they end up getting into that. But I kind of lean Oklahoma. I'm not going to play it, but I might play that under.
You like that under?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that number's huge. Maybe Auburn's defense suffocates in the jungle. I could see it.
I mean, Oklahoma scored, I think, 60 points in that second half against Vandy, where they hit every contested shot. I mean, everything in transition was perfect. I mean, it was insane to watch. They're obviously not doing that against Auburn, but the question, I guess, becomes, can their defense slow them down a little bit? They'll probably play a little slower on the offensive side, too.
Chat's talking about Central Michigan a lot.
Yeah.
They seem pretty pissed off, honestly, that I haven't addressed it. Yes, I do like Central Michigan at home as a favorite against Miami of Ohio, but I'll say this. Miami of Ohio, a covering machine this season, tough to fade and make coins. This could be a spot. I wouldn't mind Central Michigan here at home, back in Heedy and Co. To get a big-time win here at home. They've won 3 of their last 5. The Chippewas are playing better ball of late as well. And Miami of Ohio, how long can they keep this up, especially away from home? I'd say you fade them and take Central Mich here. I like them.
Yeah.
I like them. They're under investigation too. No way. I did not see them in that report. That might be separate. A couple other big games, Jovan, that people are bringing up that I wanted to definitely address. Northwestern, USC. I do like Northwestern. They're without their second best player. It's really just Martinelli, and that's all they got. It might be too much to overcome, and the Trojans have a ton of newfound confidence after that big win against Sparty. Could be a good spot to fade. Certainly would lean Northwestern, but I think without their second best player, I just don't think they have enough production offensively. And Martinelli, although he's going to play the whole game, he probably can't do it all himself. And too much athletic talent on this Trojans team. I'm a little bit scared to lay with Northwestern, although I would lean that way at home.
Yeah, I definitely lean that way. Don't know that I'll get there, but I think they have enough on offense, especially when they're going to slow the game down and make USC grind it out, which realistically USC plays pretty slow themselves when they've gone on the road. They haven't really had much success against the teams that go slow and grind it out. They've been a lot better against the teams that run a little faster so they could slow them down. So
Mm.
a little different in this game. So I'm still with Northwestern.
Mm. Baylor, Texas Tech.
Ugh. That game's got my brain in a pretzel because, I mean, obviously you couldn't pay me to bet Texas Tech, regardless of the situation. After I think that was the best win I've seen all season from any team, and probably the best win we will see from any season or from all season with any team. And
Yep.
it went on the road, beat Houston, beat them at their own game. You know, they lost JT Toppin on some bullshit. You got McCaslin getting ejected because he was complaining about that same thing, and didn't matter. It was a crazy showing. Now Baylor's coming in here after taking advantage of that insane collapse by Kansas. I would lean Baylor's way, but I don't want to bet it after that either. I think the Texas Tech wins, doesn't cover.
Okay. Yeah, I think I lean Baylor as well. Both teams coming off of big time wins. I think I'm good on that game.
Yeah.
I think I'm good on that game.
So,
We got Ramble now coming in, resubbing for 2 years. Let's fucking go, dude. W's. How about that Kansas team total under landing on the number? Oh, yeah, good thing I got under 69.5 and they landed right at 70.
yeah, GG's.
LCLD from me on that play, but still a great read. And I hope you cashed MJ. Indiana, Wisconsin.
I took my
Grab the points.
Indiana big road dog stab last game. I'm not doing it again.
Okay. Take your money and run.
Yeah.
Yep. That is more than fair. Do you like UCLA tonight, laying 3.5 against Spartans?
Absolutely. Michigan State is insanely fraudulent. And it's not just that their schedule has been soft, because it's been, I don't know if you could have made it an easier Big Ten schedule to this point, but they clearly have. But it's not just that they've avoided the best teams, they've avoided the most physical teams, which also happen to be a majority of them the best teams. Like any team with size, athleticism, physicality, they've struggled against in the most part, and they got to see one in USC last game, and look how that turned out. This is not Nebraska. This is not Minnesota. This is not any of these teams that are run and gun. They're going to shoot over top of you. You can dominate them in the paint. These are much differently built teams, and they're about to find out again today, just like they did against USC.
Yeah, I'll be on UCLA. Are you going to take Arizona State and fade Kansas State after reaping the benefits from them last game, winning outright?
Yeah, wanted to. I thought about it, but it's a tricky game because Kansas State's had their little run where they've been fantastic. Was very fortunate to cash on them in the fashion they did this weekend, which was incredible. That game was absurd. I mean, they're more physical than Iowa State. They outshot them. Everything was crisp in the half court. I don't know if you'll get that against Arizona State. It's tough to back them in another game on the road, sure, but Arizona State is just such a gross team. It's hard to put into words. Like, there's a way you can attack Iowa State. That's pretty clear. Like, you want to get to the rim. You want to put them in action to where their bigs are, I don't know, behind the 8 ball a little bit. Arizona State is just so random that it's not exactly that clear of how to do it. It's like they're not great offensively. They're dealing with this guy out, another guy out. At some point throughout the season, it's different every fucking game, but I don't know. This one just feels different. So I think it's probably the Sun Devils.
Yeah, I lean Arizona State at home. I mean, fading Kansas State after that big time win. A 19-point W on the road at Iowa State. I feel like I'm legally obligated to back the Sun Devils in this spot as favorites. And
yeah, especially doesn't help or doesn't hurt either that they get Kansas at home on Saturday. So I mean, this is the big weird game in the middle.
Yep.
Just like I guess they took advantage of with Iowa State on Saturday.
It could be a look ahead spot if I've ever seen one.
I mean, this is the definition of a fat, happy, and complacent spot. You destroyed Iowa State on the road, and now you got to go to Arizona before you host not only Kansas at home, but they also get Arizona at home in the next game on that Tuesday.
Give me the Sun Devils. I'm betting them. I'm taking them. For Goots and for Rav.
Goots Rav collab.
Yep. All right. NHL Slate. Loaded slate, Jovan. I want to give you a couple minutes here. Any plays you like on the ice? Now is the time to let the people know.
Oh, really? To be honest with you, there's a reason why
Wow.
there's nothing on the report about it. A lot of games,
Wow.
but a lot of very confusing teams that are dealing with 500 injuries right before the break. It makes it difficult. So I don't really have much of anything, Krabs, to be honest with you.
I'm surprised. I mean, your
Yeah.
Lightning are laying a pretty big number.
Yeah, but they're at home. They always are. Like, they're always going to be sharp. They were just laying minus 170 against the Islanders, who are the hottest team in hockey, and they lost in. I don't remember if they lost in overtime or if it was right before overtime. They gave up the goal, but they ended up losing. It's just they're not going to be any shorter at home unless you're playing the Avs, Stars, VGK, any of like the elite teams.
Ottawa's on fuego.
Yeah, and they're on a back-to-back. They just beat the Preds last night. So I'm not telling you it's not the Lightning, but I don't think the line or anything is really weird at all.
Okay. That's fair. Do you like the Bruins against the Wild?
I don't mind them. My only concern, because I initially would have wanted to take the Wild, but obviously with Fleury coming off of, I think he's starting tonight, coming off of that start at Montreal in his hometown, the biggest emotional spot possible. He came and had a shutout, but then they followed that up by playing the Sens and getting demolished and themselves getting shut out. So it's kind of a what's going on situation down there. But the Bruins just had their big win against the Rangers, dominated them at home, scored 6 goals in that. It's like usually I would want the Wild. I still probably think it's the Wild, but I can't bet that with Fleury coming off of that shutout.
All right. What about the Hurricanes up to minus 140 on the road, coming off of loss? What's up with that?
Yeah, they were really terrible in that game against the Kings, but I could kind of see it coming. And Trent asked me for one play on the ice on that day, and I told him Kings, and he refused to take it because they're plus tricky. And then he was bitching all day because he took the Lightning, who lost. But the Kings in that game just made them look like they were the team who was depleted because of a lot of injuries and goalie situations. It was exactly what they were. And the Kings were coming off a shutout, and they looked fantastic in that game. So like now you get a much tougher team on the road. It's definitely odd they're catching steam. I assume there's going to be some guys back because they had a little sickness going through the locker room. I think Svetch missed that game against the Kings, so maybe he's back. I haven't checked the injury reports or flu reports for him and the rest of the team, but I could get down with some Canes for sure.
Yeah, Canes minus 140 is kind of looking at me funny.
Yeah. A lot of steam on the road, unless Helly's not net. Or unless, yeah.
And then thoughts on one more game, Abs and Canucks. Canucks coming off back-to-back losses. Abs catching steam on the road.
Yeah, I can't really tell you too much about that. Krabs. I hate that game. Hate that game so much.
All right, he hates the game. Nothing we could do. Well, I will be on somehow, some way, the Hurricanes. Whether it's two-piece, whether it's just 1.5 units on the ML, I will be on the Hurricanes on the ice. Gunther's back for Utah today, finally. Flyers coming off of 3 straight games getting shut out.
Yeah. I'm probably going to have to be there for the Flyers something today. Just 3 straight shutouts, and they just traded, relatively important pieces of the attack there, of the offense. And now they're going to Utah, where every time Utah is in a spot, just like the CBJ spot we took a couple days ago, plus 1.5, and they ended up winning an OT. Every time they're in a spot at home that they should win or should win comfortably, they sell every single time. And now I'm even more shocked that they're not bigger favorites at home, Utah. So that line I think is pretty short, but especially with a team coming off with 3 straight bagels.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
I wish the Utah Hockey Club was not playing like rat shit as well.
Yeah. I mean, they've been, I wouldn't say equally as bad, but bad just in the specific spots. So it's kind of crazy.
Yep. Dead Larry Bird's talking about UMass in chat. Definitely like UMass in CBB tonight. Yep. That's for sure. plus 1.5 at home, 10-12 on the year against St. Louis. I think St. Louis is not very good. They're overrated. Robbie Avila is not that guy. I would lean UMass in that game. Okay? Well, gents, I think we spent some time on the squad ride right now. Make sure we got some winners for you guys to choose from. Jovan, you down to run it?
Sure.
Goodsey, run that shit. I want to see that train. W's. All right, let's lock in here, chat. We got a lot of great options today. We have a loaded slate in CBB. We've got a pretty darn good slate in the NBA and NHL as well. So plenty of options. No excuses. Winners only.
Sure.
That's what we got going on today. I would not mind keeping this to 2 plays. I would not mind keeping this to 3. Quality over quantity. Got to find some winners.
Must.
Okay. I'm looking at my plays. Oof. Really like all these plays. I like Iowa and BYU the most, I would say. Iowa is a disgusting play. They don't have their best player anymore. He's out for the rest of the season. Freeman. Fade Purdue. We've done it in the past and had some success. So maybe not the best looking play there compared to BYU. BYU minus 2.5 against Arizona, who's looked great the last couple of games. They definitely had luck on their sides. I'm loving BYU to get it done on the ML, but they are up to minus 135, minus 140. So, Jovan, where's your head at with Iowa and with BYU?
We can put them both in.
What about from your plays? I'm looking at that over. I'm looking at the Clippers. I'm looking at Marquette. I probably like Marquette the best.
Yeah, I'd be down for Marquette. I'm pretty tied to that over, though. That would probably be option A for me.
Okay. Notre Dame, Florida State over.
Yeah.
Looks like it's up to 143.5 right now.
I'm sure. But yeah, that's hitting. Put that in there.
Okay. Yeah, 143. 143.5. Okay. All right, I'm going to put that in there. Let's go with Notre Dame. We'll get Goodsey bricked up. Florida State over 143.5. Do we really want to leave Marquette out of here?
No, we don't need to leave Marquette out.
If you had to pick one between Iowa and BYU, who would you take?
Probably BYU, but that more so has to do with the fact that I've faded Purdue very successfully 2 of the last 3 games. Feels greedy.
Some other plays that I want to throw out there in the ring. UCLA.
Yeah.
Probably the best honorable mention play. It's not on the Sharp report that we went over today. Yeah. Like Arizona State as well, but UCLA looking at me funny. Would probably rather take Iowa or BYU.
Yeah.
What do you think, Goots? You think we run a 3-piece, or do you think we get Marquette involved in here and do 2 and 2 from each Noah's archetype?
Like Marquette, it's that early game, that early Big East game.
So right, gotta avoid early cake.
I mean, green's green, and I like Marquette's probably my favorite play.
I feel like we got to put that in there, then.
Yeah, we might put it in there.
And we don't want to put the Hurricanes in this puppy.
No, can live without the Canes.
Okay. All right, let's put Marquette in here. Let's make it a 4-piece. Marquette plus 2.5. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go 4 plays, 4 winners, 2 plays from each of us. Okay. Yes, we like Marquette. Dead Larry Bird. 4 plays, 4 winners. We got the over in Notre Dame, Florida State, over 143.5. We got Iowa plus 7, BYU money line, and Marquette plus 2.5. 4 plays, 4 winners. Get involved. All right. You got 3 minutes to lock in your vote. Take your time. Think about it for a second, but also don't think about it too much. Don't wait too long. Okay. Click the right button. Get involved. Don't overthink it, but also don't underthink. Okay. Think the right amount about it. Click the right button. Click the button of the play that's turning green. Plain and simple. Okay. 4 plays, 4 winners, guys. Get involved. We got B Brissett coming in, resubbing, and Bede under. Lock it in. Ooh. You don't got to tell me twice, fading and Bede. Okay. Yeah, chat. Get involved. Get those votes in. Don't just sit there. Quick recap on the Notre Dame read. Jovan, can you give me a one-liner on why you like points in Notre Dame?
I would love to, because my foot is hovering above the ground in Tallahassee. But
interesting.
Notre Dame is one of the worst offenses at the rim in that conference, and Florida State is one of the worst defenses from the 3 or defending the 3 in that conference, especially lately, which those are the only thing those 2 teams do relatively well. So, I mean, it's the perfect matchup for both offenses, and especially if I think FSU is going to win, which I do. Don't think they're going to do that by dominating Notre Dame in the half court. I think they're going to run in transition quite a bit, get to the rim, make Notre Dame play catch up, which is good for pace.
There you go, Jake. Quick spark notes on that sell job. Okay. BK said might just take straights on all of them. Would not be a bad move. Do not let these other plays get swept, but still remember the most important part of our lives, most important part of our day, the squad ride. Okay, please click the right button. Please get involved. And while we do, we will drop the link one more time. If you guys don't mind, we have a Bookit questionnaire that takes, 2-3 minutes for you guys to fill out. Will not take long. We wanted to put this out to our OGs in the chat during the shows. We're not posting on the socials. We want the OGs' thoughts on how we can improve, how we can get better, and what more content you guys want to see. Okay? Check out the Google form. The link is in the Twitch chat. After you vote for the squad rides, go ahead and head over to that poll before we get the Surge stream fired up. Are we getting a Surge today?
Believe so.
I believe so. Also, chat, if you go to our Twitter, we just posted a graphic. We're doing a PP giveaway. If you post a picture and a Bookit hat that you have purchased under in the comments, you get $200 in PP coin.
Oh, really?
Also, we'll pick 5 people to put in a lineup to potentially win 5K if you guys are searchable. Yeah.
Wow.
So
if you haven't purchased the hat, go ahead and purchase one. And once you get it, you can post that picture and you'll be entered in that.
Okay. I'll drop the link to the hats real quick here.
Yep.
Marquette squad rides plus 2.5. Chat wants an early winner.
Yeah,
they want to get in, get out real quick.
But
that's all right.
Let's get a winner.
To be honest with you, I think all 4 of those plays are smacking. So are these forms anonymous? Now that I don't know, but I'm assuming yes. But please do not hold me to that. But if I had to guess, I'd say they are probably anonymous. And we're not out to get anybody. We literally just want your guys' help and your opinions and your thoughts. So please take some time this afternoon, fill out the Google form, do it right now before Surge stream while the intro loads up here. Okay. Help out the squad. Let us know what you want to see more of. All right. Don't feel bad. Don't feel weird. Put some stuff down in those empty boxes in there where you can fill it out, not just the multiple choice answers. Let us know what you guys want to see more of. Okay. WBTL today. Jovan, let's cash this squad ride. We'll get in, get out nice and early with Marquette. Plus 2.5. All right. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be seeing. All right. Stick around.